Five Out Basketball, five segments, five takes. This is the podcast for NBA conversations. This is Five Out Basketball, and it starts in 3, 2, 1.
We're going to have a little bit of fun. And our first one is we are going to do our top 20 players in the NBA, but 5 years from now.
Ooh,
They're going to get half a decade older. These young guys are going to get half a decade older with more experience. And this is going to be wild because injuries can happen. Teams can be constructed differently. A lot can happen. So me and Everton, we attempted to make the top 20 players in the NBA 5 years from now. Me and Everton, we talked a little bit about this before we got on air. We didn't give each other our ideas or nothing. But This was hard to create. You know how many times I was erasing names trying to figure it out?
Oh my gosh. This was had me sweating. Only thing that kept me sane was like, this isn't gonna be perfect anyways. It doesn't matter. Like I've seen lists before where like they do the top 20, top whatever players in 5 years. And okay, let's call space spade. I saw one back in like 2017 or 2018, and they're like, Ben Simmons will be the best player in 5 years. And the thing is, back then that wasn't a crazy statement.
Yeah.
But looking at it now, it's like, whoa, what was bro cooking? You know? So I have to keep that in mind. Like, it's not gonna be perfect. Like, a lot can happen it's 5 years. A lot can happen in 5 years. So my bad. I'm trying to figure something out right now.
So Everton, do you think you're gonna be on freezing cold takes or you're gonna be on burning hot takes?
I think I had a balance of like freezing and hot. I feel like some of them are kind of givens, so they're like freezing cold, and some of them I had to kind of be a little harsh with. So
I'm excited. So since it's top 20 and it's 5 years from now, we're gonna obviously have disrespected some players that are not gonna make the top 20.
Yeah.
I could list a bunch, but I just listed 3. And I've also included ages just so for some perspective.
Me too. Yeah, me too. I put 5 honorable mentions just to be safe, but I can just name 3. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I could have done like 10 in all honesty. Like there's some players that get disrespected here, but my first one who just missed it is going to be Scotty Barnes, who will be 27.
Ooh, that's okay. All right.
Like, Scotty Barnes is just after just watching his skills challenge, it's just like I know it's bogus to base off the skills challenge, but it's like this guy's a doofus. I'm sorry. Like I just can't I can't see him being top 20 in the NBA. It's just this guy's dumb. I'm sorry.
That is
That's my
insane.
big thing. Like I just don't think he's the most skilled player in the world. He's not like a freak Giannis athlete to make up for it. So I think that's what's gonna miss him out in the top 20.
Okay.
And then Anthony Davis, he's gonna be 34. I think he's an incredibly skilled player. So if he made the top 20 thing, I would completely understand. And then my first hot take is I think the draft sucks, okay? But there are some players that have a bag. And Rob Dillingham's potential is so good. That LSU game, if you were not moved or you don't know much about him, watch the LSU game. Kentucky should have won that game. They got screwed over. But Rob Dillingham is a little Kyrie Irving-esque. Just his shiftiness, some of his finishing, and he's a great shooter as well. I just think he has such a deep bag. And if he can get in the right system, there's a guy who could develop in 5 years and arguably be a top 20 player in the NBA.
I'm not mad at that. He was hooping against LSU.
He's so good. He's so good.
So tough.
But easily my favorite player in the draft.
I'm not. Hey, he's probably my favorite player. Yeah, low key, Rob is probably my favorite player in this draft.
Love Rob, and his music taste is fire. I'll be going on his Instagram page. You'll have like Hard Rock, Homicide Gang, Cardi.
He knows a little bit of ball.
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about. So I wasn't familiar with your game, Rob.
I was not familiar with your game, man. Okay, I guess I gotta lock in with that. My honorable mentions. One of them is really cold. Evan Mobley. I think. Look, his defense could probably make him a fringe top 20 player, but his offense is what scares me. Like, I just don't know if he'll ever develop that offensive side. If he does, he can probably be a top 20 player.
Yeah, but do you consider like Rudy Gobert a top 20 player in the NBA?
Damn.
Yeah, I don't, so that's why I didn't even have Evan Mobley as a
okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Great player though. Nothing to crap on. Top 20 is when it gets intense up here.
Yeah, and again, this is projection. So other person I had was LaMelo Ball. As an honorable mention. I think I could easily see him up here too, but again, I don't know how much better he'll get from now, especially with the injury issues he struggles with.
That was my big thing.
Yeah, with injuries issues, I'm like, And then the last one, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but well, I had 5 names, but I'll just say the last one. I don't know if this is a hot take,
Uh-huh.
but Scoot Henderson.
That is not a hot take. Scoot Henderson gets like crapped on because of his start to the season. The
Hmm
potential's still there. Like I know
Yeah.
he hasn't boomed right away, but there's a
hmm
promising player there. I could have
Yeah.
seen him as an honorable mention. I didn't include him, but the potential is 100% there.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we can agree on that. I
Yeah.
think I think the potential is there. I feel like people just toot Henderson, the AI shit was funny. It was
Scoot, Hen-
funny. I can't
Scoot
lie.
Henderson's an elite nickname, though. I'm
That
not gonna
was
lie.
that he'll never live that like that. Every stinker he has is gonna be toot Henderson, but
Mhm.
he's still a phenomenal player and has a
Yeah.
lot of potential.
Yes, people just love to hate. That's the world we
Yeah,
live in. People hate whenever they get the opportunity.
we kind of do too, bro.
Yeah. So let's get into this. We're gonna go 20 to 16, and then 15 to 11, 10 to 6, and then 5 to 1.
All right,
I'm
bet.
excited. I'm so excited. This is fun. There's gonna be a lot of if me and Everton have similar lists, then like we're just the same person. I have
Yeah,
no
at this
idea.
point. At this
So
point.
at 20, I had Tyrese Maxey, who will be 28 years old.
Hmm
At 19, I had Nikola Topic.
Oh,
I
okay.
think if he goes to San Antonio Spurs and he gets to play against Victor Wembanyama, he's gonna just be unreal. And he's a taller
Mm,
guard who can shoot past the ball and still defend. I think that's just the complete recipe to be a top 20 player in the NBA. And just some players are gonna be lower on the list because they'll never be in the right system. But Nikola Topic is gonna be there. He has the potential to be a top 20 player in the NBA, and that's what I'm banking on.
hmm
18, I had your dog Jalen Williams, who will be 27 at the
He
time.
was another of my honorable mentions too.
Really,
But
I thought he was snuck in.
mm,
Now, at 17, I had Lloyd Markkinen, who's going to be in his prime. Lloyd Markkinen is the most underrated player in the NBA. I was talking about Kyrie. Lloyd Markkinen is legit one of the best players in the NBA already, but he's in Utah, so who cares?
who cares?
And then my last one, Cooper Flagg, who will be 22 years old. I am in love with this player. He does everything. He literally does everything. He's going to be clear number one next season, and he's going to ball out right out the way. He's 6'8", can score from anywhere. Underrated passer. Is already averaging 6 blocks a game. Magnificent player. 100% can be top 20. I have no doubts.
So So this is what okay, let me say this. This is why I like this list because we can
Uh-huh.
finally have some more like disagreements. And it's not even
Uh-huh.
like we don't agree, but it's like there's more to talk about because we won't have the exact same list.
Yeah.
So it's 20 to 16, right?
Yeah.
So I had Cooper at 20. Now I could easily see him
Fire.
higher than this, but he'll want to only be 22 years old.
Uh-huh.
And some of these guys have some more seasons under their belt. I'm gonna just roll with that.
Yeah.
But I could easily see Cooper way higher on this list. I
I
didn't I
love
didn't want
that.
to put a guy who's literally not in the league
Not
like
even in college.
like he's in high school. I just can't comfortably say yeah, he'll be top 10.
Yeah.
Like no, I can't do it
Uh-huh.
yet. But I had Cooper at 20. He's 20, he'll be 22 years old.
Yeah.
19, I had Brandon Miller. Might be a
Fire.
little
That's a
weird.
great take.
But he'll only be 26 years old, and I think he could be like a Paul George. Like I
Yeah.
know it's like kind of boring to say that, but he could that be a Paul George. Like we're talking about a guy who about 6'9", 6'10", long wingspan, can shoot, dribble, his two-way. I think because he's shown some flashes of being good defensively already, and I
Mm.
think 5 years from now he could be all a defensive level defender at the forward position. So I went Brandon Miller.
Okay.
Um, 18, I went Trey Young. He'll only be 30 years old, so I don't
Mm.
think he'll have a generational fall off. Honestly, dude, Trey Young could still put up probably about 28 and 10 at 30 years old. So
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I'll keep Trey Young in there. And then 17, I had Donovan Mitchell. Again, he'll only be 32 years old. Here's the thing, right? If this was back in the day, I'd be like, he's probably going to fall off. But the way these guys have been aging in the NBA nowadays, these guys could be in like almost peak form to like 35. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Without any injury problems. So I went Mitchell at 32 because I think he can still remain being a top 20 player at 32 because I don't think he can have a crazy fall off.
Yeah.
And then 16, Devin Booker for the exact same reason. He'll only be 32 years old, and I have him the exact same reason as Donovan Mitchell.
Not to spoil, but I have both those guys a little higher up on my list.
Oh, that's fine. I'm
Yeah.
just glad he's on the list. That's
Yeah.
all I really cared about.
Yeah. The one that just blows my mind, and it's just gonna be so sad as someone that was a big baller brand advocate. Brandon Miller has more potential than LaMelo Ball in your eyes. Isn't that a crazy sentence to say?
I say it like this. It's always been a wings league.
Mhm.
Like when you look at who's been the best player in the league over the past like decade or so, LeBron, KD. Like obviously it's been Bron, but number two is always KD. And then you got guys like Kawhi, Paul George. Like there's been so many wings. I get it, it's the point guard generation, but I just feel like having a wing who both sides of the ball, it's gonna outweigh LaMelo Ball's impact.
Mhm.
That's what I think. So yeah.
I love it. I wish I considered that. I mean, I'm a Brandon Miller enjoyer. I know he had that controversy at Bama, but Brandon Miller is a fun player, and I would
Yeah.
love to see that. I would love to see LaMelo Ball exist too, but it's Charlotte. Only one of them can be good. You don't get two good players in Charlotte. Hate to break to you guys. So now for my 15 through 11, this is gonna bother some people. I have my
Mhm.
reasoning though. I have John Moran at 15.
Okay.
I
Ooh.
have Trey Young at 14.
Okay.
I have Paolo Banchero at 13. This
Okay.
man is going to be old, but I have Joel Embiid at 12. And then at
Mm.
11, I have Donovan Mitchell. John Morant, I have injury worries with the style of play. I've been hurt by Derrick Rose before. So I
Mm.
can't put him high. I'm sorry. Like just past trauma is my reasoning. I know he's an incredible player, but with already having a season-ending injury and your style of play is I'm gonna slam it as hard as possible and go viral. I've seen it
Yeah.
before, and I'm sorry for Memphis fans. It's traumatic. I really wish no one has to go through that Derrick Rose experience, but
Hmm.
I've seen it happen before, so that's a big worry for me, John Morant. And Joel Embiid's gonna be 34, but Joel Embiid just has a style of play where he's gonna be a great defender and still somebody that can give you a bucket, and still pass the ball. So he does a little bit of everything. And as we said, the player's prime can last a little longer, so I just can't comfortably put a guy who's an MVP contender out of the list in 5 years. I just don't think the fall off's
Mm.
there yet.
Yeah.
And Paulo Banchero, people are gonna want to see higher. And I mean, top 13 is not disrespect, but I haven't seen it yet to think like, oh, he's gonna be top 10 in the league. I just haven't seen it yet.
Okay. So it's 15 to 11.
Yes.
So 15, I had Scotty Barnes. I
Uh-huh.
look, I know what you said about bro being a doofus. But he's genuinely a good player. Like I think he's a consistent jump shot away from being like really good. Like
Mhm.
we're talking about a guy who 6'9", about like 230, athletic. You know, he's a good slasher. Defensively, I mean, we're talking about a dude who could average about a steal and two blocks. Like he can be a phenomenal defensive player. If he can get a consistent jumper, I think he can be like, you know, offensively. He's a great passer too. Like he can
Mhm.
rebound, pass, put the ball in the basket. And I look, if you don't know, I'm a really big versatility guy. Like I like two-way players. That's always been something that's I've, you know, take a liking to.
Mhm.
So 27-year-old Scotty Barnes, I feel like could actually be really good.
Okay.
14, I hope I'm not lowballing him, but I have Chet. He'll only be
Wow.
26.
Uh-huh.
Now I'll be honest. I'll be trying to take my Thunder bias out of certain things because that's why Jada was an honorable mention for me. I wanted to put
Uh-huh.
him on this list too, but I'm like, I feel like they're gonna think I'm biased. I'll leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'll just leave him out. And Chet, I put him down here because I'm like, I could see these guys being better than him, but I could also see Chet be top 10.
Mhm.
So I'm cool with either way. Obviously, I'm cool either way. But 26-year-old Chet could probably be a depoy candidate if he's already not a depoy candidate. But you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
13-eyed Cade,
Wow.
27-year-old Cade, I think could be really good, but I got my 13. I think we're talking about I could the next guy, Tyrese Halliburton, I could see Cade over him only because hold on. We're talking about a dude who's the same size as Tyrese in terms of height, but bigger in terms of like about 210 pounds or even
Yeah.
more. You know, the shooting thing, I think if Cade could become a more consistent shooter, offensively he'd be fine. Only thing he'd have is he's not a good passer as well as Tyrese. But I think the other thing for me, defense. Now, Cade isn't like a lockdown or nothing crazy, but he's shown flashes of it. And I think as he gets older, he can become more of a great defender, and that would steer him. But I had Tyrese over him, so let me cover that. I had Tyrese over him.
Yeah.
And then 11, I had Ja. Now I
Mhm.
can understand Ja being lower because of the injury things, but hopefully it doesn't. Pray that it doesn't happen because if it doesn't, he could definitely be up there. But yeah, I think Ja's game is a little scary. It's a
Mhm.
little scary, but I got Ja at 11.
Yeah, I have so much I need to decipher from that. Firstly, I think of Tyrese Halliburton shockingly low,
Mm.
like shockingly low.
Hmm.
And then hot takes. There's gonna be two of them because I feel like I should mention this guy as a hot takes. I feel like he might be in your top 10. Do you have Zion Williamson in your top 10?
I do. I do.
I didn't include Zion.
Oh my God.
Zion, I can't see it. Like, I'm sorry. I know we wanted to see it so bad out of college. We just haven't seen, like, he was top 10 for a season. Now we've seen like a not tremendous, but we've seen a fall off where like he's like an argument for like 25, 30 range. I can't give it to Zion. And then my second
Damn.
one, I also did not have Cade Cunningham. He was going to be one of my honorable mentions. Detroit has won the same amount of games without Cade Cunningham than they have done Cade Cunningham, and it's just like there's moments where I see it, but just the system he's in, he's gonna need like a generational move to get out of Detroit. I just don't see it. Cade Cunningham's gonna be a top border 20 player, but I did not have Cade Cunningham in my top 25 or top 20 as well.
Damn.
I feel so
Damn.
bad, dude. Dude, Zion should be a top 10 player in the league. It's just there's just too much off the court stuff that happens, and not enough on the court to make it proving that he should be top 20.
Well, hey, it's your list, so I'm not gonna be like,
Mhm.
no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Again, this is all projection, so
Mhm.
there's no perfect list, so
Exactly.
no argument there.
That's why this list is so fun. I knew it was gonna be
Yeah,
all over the place.
literally all over the place.
I know we can't argue it, but I think you disrespected Tyrese Halliburton so hard. And you're gonna
I
see by my list, we definitely changed ranges
I
of where we
mean,
think Tyrese
I can
Halliburton
already
should be.
tell. I don't know. I like Tyrese. I just don't know his defense. I don't think will ever
Yeah.
become a real big thing.
But
And
like Stephen Curry though, it's like, oh man, I gotta have Stephen Curry just below a top 10 because he can't play
true.
defense.
Yeah, true. I don't know. But I don't know. Well, do you think Tyrese could hit Curry levels of
Well, I'm
like
not saying that good, but I'm just saying that with his ability to be the best passer in the league already, and he still has shown he
mm,
has that range, could still score in the paint. I just think there's an argument to be made that he could, in 5 years, he could be the best offensive, not the best scorer, but he could be the best offensive player in the NBA come 5 seasons.
that's not a bad reason. The other thing for me, yo, the league is just mad talented.
Hmm.
Like there's just a lot of dudes. Like this list, I feel like you could say all 20 of these dudes could be on the list. It's just order might be a little shaky, but yeah, I'm gonna roll with Tyrese at 12. Well, go ahead and tell me
So,
your 10 through
so difficult.
6.
10, I have Devin Booker. I just think his
Mm.
game's too good all around, especially with how he's evolved as a pass maker. He's going to remain a top 10 player in the league at 32.
Uh-huh.
9, I have your dog, Chet Holmgren. I'm surprised you didn't have him higher. At 8, I think Giannis is still a top 10 player in the league. He's just a freak of nature.
Mm-hmm.
7, I have Anthony Edwards. And then at
Okay.
6, I have Nikola Jokic.
Okay, so you see Giannis and Jokic falling out of that top 5. Okay.
I
That's
mean,
fair.
just with how young and how competitive the league is, like, I don't think saying 6 and 8 is too disrespectful.
No, it's not.
It's just the league is so much better now. These young guys, they're going to start evolving.
Mm.
I think you make more of a comment of having Ant at 7, in all honesty.
So I have Zion at 10.
Uh-huh.
He'll only be 28. I understand why you don't have him. His potential is still there for me.
Mm.
So I'm gonna still roll with Zion. He has the potential to be top 10, but it's just about if he fulfills it. Joel Embiid, I had him at 9.
Mm.
Like you'll see as the list goes on, like I think he can age okay, but I think his injury thing is gonna really bother me, and that's why I have him
That's
at
fair.
9. Um, and then 8 I had Anthony Edwards, so we relatively had Ant in the same
Okay.
spot.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna try to push him to be higher than 8, but I feel like I can name. I feel like these 7 guys are just they'll be better than he will.
Mm.
But 27-year-old Ant could be really damn good,
Yeah.
honestly. And then 7 I had Jason Tatum. Um, he'll be 30. Honestly, I just feel like these other guys will be better than he will.
Wow. That's
Because
the
okay,
hottest take.
it probably is. I'm not mad. I'll live by the take.
Yeah.
Only
Okay.
reason why I don't know how much better Tatum's gonna get because he's already what 20, 25 based on the numbers. Um, but if he never takes that jump, I just don't know if he'll be able to be better than these other guys.
Mm.
So I'm gonna leave Tatum at 7,
Okay.
and then 6 I have SGA. So I do
Uh-huh.
think he'll be right outside that top 5. Because these 5 dudes, right? I just don't think he'll be able to pass them.
Yeah.
But 30-year-old Shea, he probably
Mm.
still putting up 36 and 6
Yeah.
and like freaking 3 steals.
Uh-huh.
But until he develops a 3-point shot, I feel like these other guys might have the edge over him. So, well, let me not say that for all of them, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I
my
can't believe
top.
I
That's
was
my
nicer to your Thunder guys than you were. I can't believe that.
You said what?
I was nicer to your Thunder guys than you were. I can't believe I'm saying that sentence.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna it's a projection. So at the end of the day, it won't be perfect, but
Mm.
I don't know. I don't like to like have this whole cloud over Thunder, 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 Thunder. Shay's going
Yeah.
to be the best player in the league. Chet's going to be number 2, and J-Dub's number 3. Like, no, you know,
Yeah.
as long as these guys can be relatively in these spots, I think we'll be fine. So I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
My only question is, so you have Paolo Banchero over SGA and Tatum?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Paulo, bro, I'm a huge Paulo guy. Like I think his game, I'll explain it when we get to where he's ranked, but I think Paulo's game can be so good in the next 5 years. So
This is, I think it's gonna be great. Do not get me wrong. By saying
Mm.
better than Tatum, I just can't see a higher ceiling than what Tatum is now.
so you wanna do the top 5 and then we'll talk about it, or
I will.
okay.
So, because we have some, I love this list is awesome. I can't wait to watch this back. But
Me
at
too.
5, I have SGA.
Hmm.
At 4, I have Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh my goodness.
At 3, I have Jason Tatum.
Okay.
At 2, I have Luka Doncic.
Hmm.
And at number 1, the only correct answer is
Yeah.
Victor Wembanyama. He's gonna be the
Yeah.
top for the next decade. He'll be the next. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
So we literally have the same top 2. So
Yeah,
I think that was the easiest part of the list, honestly.
yeah.
That was the easiest part.
I'm not gonna.
But
I really thought about putting Luka over Wembanyama though.
me too. But I was like, nah, 25-year-old Wemby might be something we ain't never seen before.
Mhm.
But 5 I had Paulo, 26-year-old Paulo. I get more in depth with that. 4 I had Jokic, and
Okay.
3 I had Giannis. I just feel like those two dudes can age so well that they can still be top 5 players in the league at
Yes.
34. Like I guess the thing for me, I was like, when did LeBron truly become a not top 5 player?
Mm. Took
Right?
a
And I
long
feel like
time.
those guys can, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like those guys can age like that and still be top 5 players.
Mm.
Um, and then 29-year-old Luca, hey man.
I'm scared.
Hey, like we're talking about a dude who might average freaking 49 and 9, bro. Like
Yeah.
really. And then Wemby, dude, Wemby at 25, if he's not on a minutes restriction, which I don't think he will be by that point, we're talking about a dude who could probably win Defensive Player of the Year, probably put about 27, 13, 4 assists, a steal, like 4 blocks.
Yeah.
Like, and if he develops somewhat of a jumper, because he already has a jumper, but
Yeah.
like if he develops a consistent jumper,
It's not
y'all
fair.
watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out. All right, so let me address the Paulo thing,
Yeah.
right? When I watch Paulo, I don't think he's LeBron, but I see a guy who has 6'10", 250. So he's got great size and he's really good at using that size. But also, like, he's showing a development in the jump shot. Like, I know
Mm.
last year, dude went like 2 months without hitting a three, which was crazy. But now he's looking like more of a consistent jumper. And I think, the mechanics are there and all that. As long as he keeps working at it, if he can become like a 38% three-point shooter, hey, that's fine.
Mm.
And then as long as he, continues being as good as he is inside, I think the passing is there too. If you know ball, if Paulo's a pretty solid passer for his size and his position, his ball handling is there. His defense, I think it could become a thing too, because the Magic are a good defensive team too. So,
Yeah.
I think as long as they continue to be good defensively and he continues to do his thing, he could be there. I think all around he could just be one of the most, one of the best two-way players in the league. And I feel like he could be like a mini, it's weird calling him mini LeBron when he's
Uh-huh.
technically bigger than LeBron, but I feel like he could be like a Giannis LeBron type of where he's like just bigger than everybody and has a good handle to him while also being a pretty solid shooter. So
Mm.
that's why I think Paulo could be top 5. I'm really big on Paulo though. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a really big Paulo guy.
I love the Paolo love. I just can't believe I'm defending the Celtics. This is a big L in the Joey LeMaster agenda. I trust Tatum's jumper more. I know he can still get to the basket. I think Tatum's a better defender. I Paolo might be a better passer than Tatum. I'm not too confident on either side for that. I just
Mm,
think Tatum's ceiling's higher than Paolo. But
mm,
I had to defend one of my own. I have Tyrese Halliburton in the top 5. I just think he can be the best offensive player of all time. And eventually, the defense, he's not going to be great. The defense, he got to get a little better. But
mm,
Tyrese Halliburton, he's shown he has the jump shot. He could shoot from 3. He can get to the paint. His passing, he could arguably become the best passer of all time. Like I
mm,
think I can stand on that. It's just
mm.
the efficiency and the highlight real passes he can produce, it's not been seen in the league before on this consistent of a basis. And if he can start getting like the accolades to go with it, I think Tyrese Halliburton's gonna have that level of respect. And I'm fully on the train after that All-Star performance when he got like 15 right off the bat.
Yeah,
I know he can shoot, and if he's gonna be arguably the best offensive player in the league, I don't see how that can't be a top 5 even if he's not the best defender.
that's fair. Look, any of these guys could be anywhere on this list. Let's be honest.
It's a 5-year projection.
It's a 5-year
super
projection.
hard to predict. Like Cooper Flag could literally be like Kasim to beat for all we know. Like,
please don't do it.
Yeah.
Please don't do that, please.
Yeah.
I like this list though. I'm gonna look back at this in the next few years. Like, in 5 years, we have to look at this. Like, just look back and we have to be like, yo, what? Like, it's either gonna be like, what were we cooking? Or it's gonna be like, yo, we actually cooked.
Yeah,
like,
we actually cooked, or like some play we've never even heard of is already the best player in the league. Like,
exactly. Some dude named, I don't know, like Jonathan Duplessis. Like, there's gonna be some random dude who's overseas who we don't know yet come out of nowhere, best player in the league, bro. Did I just foreshadow? Hey, if you out there, I called
Jonathan Duplessis. If you're hooping, like we've been studying.
That was fun, man.
That's hilarious. But I love this idea. I can't wait to look back on. This is probably the most excited I've ever been for a segment we've done.
Thank you so much for tuning into this segment of the 5 Out Podcast. I am Joey LeMaster, and me and Everton are so thankful for your guys' support. If you want to keep supporting us, please check out the full podcast on Spotify and follow our TikTok account. Both of those will be in the bio, and make sure to leave a like and stay smooth.